Alright, so I'm finally caught up on the Pokemon anime, and I've been really enjoying it actually, despite the video I released last week. It's actually a lot better than I expected it to be, and as much as I thought I wouldn't like Ash's team, I actually really do like it. Pikachu, of course there's been enough said about him, but it really does seem like he's as strong as he should be. He literally was able to stop a Hyper Beam from a Tyranitar and a Gyarados by using Thunderbolt. Mr. Mime is actually strong in battle, which is quite surprising. I don't know how he got that strong living with Ash's mom, but whatever. Then the big one, we have Ash's Dragonite. I already knew he caught it before I watched the episode, and I'm mad at myself for not watching the anime weekly so I could have a true live reaction to it, but it doesn't change how cool this is. The episode that he caught it in was pretty wholesome in my opinion. Ash trained the Dragonair to learn how to fly, and then when Ash was falling to his death presumably, it evolved and saved Ash. This would start a new pattern for this series. Each Pokemon that Ash has caught so far wanted Ash to catch it based on events that happened during the episode. The episode where Ash caught Gengar was really heartwarming because much like what happened to Charmander in the original series, Gengar was abandoned by its trainer. When he ran away, Ash didn't stop until he found it, and in the end he decided to join Ash's team. I think this episode really shows us a lot about Ash's character, and that continued in the most recent episode where he caught Riolu. This is a Pokemon almost all longtime viewers of the anime have wanted him to catch. He honestly should have gotten it in Sinnoh during the Aurasphere Riolu episode, but he didn't and everyone was mad when that happened. But we got redemption and it's looking like they're setting Riolu up to be Ash's ace Pokemon for this series, and if that's the case, I would be so excited. Seeing that instant connection that Riolu and Ash had even before the egg hatched and then again during their battle with Onix, it was epic to say the least. So anyway, this is all to say, usually we have some epic transformation or a move like Ash Greninja or Z moves in Sun and Moon. So with Riolu when it evolves into Lucario, there's three options, Mega Evolution being one of them. With Karina apparently being confirmed to return to the anime, this is extremely likely I think. I mean, Karina has a Mega Lucario already, and in the X and Y video game, she's the one that gives the player character a Mega Stone for Lucario, and that could tie into the anime very well. What I think will happen is that we'll see the common Pokemon anime trope where Ash's Pokemon beats its evolution in a battle. This time it'll be Ash's Riolu versus Karina's Lucario. She's gonna mention Ash's Riolu and how she didn't know that he caught one, and at the end of the fight she will give him a Lucario Knight to use in the future once Riolu finally evolves. The next possible scenario is a Gigantamax Lucario, and I know you're already telling me that he doesn't have one yet, but that doesn't rule out this possibility. This summer we're supposed to be getting the Pokemon DLC, and this one seems like it's taking a big focus on training, fighting, all that good stuff. And it's also called the Isle of Armor, and Lucario is a steel type, put two and two together. Lucario is probably getting a Gigantamax form in the DLC. We already know that the Galar starters and the other two Kanto starters are getting G-Max forms, which confirms new ones, so Lucario is a great candidate to get chosen for one. Also, what better way to promote the DLC than to give Ash what would arguably be the coolest new form added into it. That being said, out of the three options, this still in my eyes seems like the least likely one. Gigantamax only works in Galar, so it wouldn't make sense to have something limited to only one place in an anime where Ash is traveling the entire world. Next up, the one I think is most likely may come as a shock to some people. I honestly think that Ash's Riolu is going to become his ace for this series, and eventually it's going to have its own form, just like Ash Greninja. Now look, if you asked me a week ago, I would call you crazy. They would never try to pull off another Greninja type transformation, but now after seeing the episode, I have a completely different opinion. Like I touched on just a second ago, Ash and Riolu had an instant connection, even before the egg hatched. When Ash was battling at the beginning of the episode, Riolu sensed his aura and started to hatch, but then the battle finished and the egg went dormant again. Eventually Nurse Joy gave Ash the egg and it hatched, but Riolu didn't recognize Ash until him and Pikachu started to battle the Onix and he sensed his aura. Then Ash and Riolu destroyed Onix even though Riolu was only just born. This is going to be one of Ash's coolest Pokemon. But yeah, we haven't really seen a connection between Ash and another Pokemon since Ash Greninja, so in my opinion it only makes sense that this is the most likely scenario. That being said, I'm just excited that Ash finally has a Riolu and will eventually get a Lucario. The Lucario movie is one of my favorite Pokemon movies, and Ash definitely had a bond with Sir Aaron's Lucario in that movie, so Ash already has a stronger connection with Aura anyway. This is only going to serve to strengthen Ash's Aura-based abilities, and eventually we're going to see one of the strongest connections between a person and a Pokemon in the history of the entire anime. So yeah, thanks for watching. This was a shorter video again, but I'm actually starting to like making these smaller Pokemon anime videos anyway, because it's my favorite part about the entire franchise. That being said, what was your reaction when Ash got Riolu? And do you think that any of these options will come to fruition in the next series? As always, be sure to let me know down in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss another Pokemon anime related video from me. Other than that, I don't really have much else to say, so with all of that out of the way, my name is Shiny Zoroark, and I bid you adieu.